Well, thank you so much for coming, everyone. Again, my name is Gina Diorio. I'm the owner of Holistic Nutritious Solutions, and I'm also a clinical nutritionist dealing in holistic health. And what I do is I actually, in holistic health, incorporate the mind, body, and spirit. Does anybody at all have any type of recognition with holistic health or working with holistic health? Okay. It's actually been mainstream in the past 20 years or so, and I actually got into it before it was even in the mainstream. I actually got involved in holistic health since I was 15 years old in high school, and that was 35 years ago. I'm happy to say I just celebrated my 50th birthday in November, and I have a beautiful 27-year-old daughter, Angela, and I'm married for the second time on my honeymoon with my husband, Sam, for the past 5.5 years. So it's been a wonderful life, and it's been very engaging. So I'd like to let you know a little bit of how we can do holistic health in the field here. It's achieving your optimal health and well-being naturally, and that's what I truly believe in. We can actually use all the holistic modalities that you can incorporate in your life without taking any types of medication. Now, if you're taking medication, just to let you know, food is thy medicine, and let medicine be thy food. That is the first area of your first line of defense in health. You are what you eat and absorb. So just to let you know that, and I do believe that for every type of symptom that is out there that you're experiencing, it can be resolved through nutrition, and it can also be involved and actually entailed and resolved through different holistic modalities. All right, and then you can pick that option of what you'd like to do with that. Okay, here I am here. This was my second or my third selfie. I'm not mechanically inclined and technologically challenged a little bit, but this was taken just as I approached my 50th birthday. I think it was 1 or 2 days before. And I actually got involved in holistic health, and my mentors were Jack LaLanne, if you remember Jack LaLanne. Also, I had Bruce Lee, if you remember the Bruce Lee movies as well. He was very much into nutrition as well. Jane Fonda, do you remember the Jane Fonda tapes? Oh, yeah. Yes, I was there with Jane Fonda when she came out, introducing me into the aerobic lifestyle and actually women empowering themselves. Yeah, you might have a tape, yes, yes. Very good, very good. Well, get it out. Transfer it to a CD, and then you can actually watch it. Transfer your VHS into a CD, and you can actually watch it and actually participate with her, sure. Another big figure that was in my life was Richard Simmons. When he was on TV, he had his Richard Simmons hour where he actually was introducing cooking and a healthy lifestyle to people who wanted to be involved with it. And he himself was an obese individual, and he worked his way down with holistic modalities as well as nutrition in order to control his weight, and he brought it out to the world. So do you remember Deal a Meal? Remember the Deal a Meal? So that was one of his biggies, that he actually introduced nutrition into the health field. So the education, just to let you know, like I said, I was involved in it since I was 15 years old, and it's only been in the past 20 years that's been going into the mainstream. That holistic health has actually been involved in medical practices, as well as a growing popularity where people are taking the alternative health care into their own hands and engaging themselves into an area that they seem fit. I also have a certificate in neuro-linguistic programming with the Academy of Motivational Strategies. My clinical nutrition holistic certificate I earned at the Academy of Natural Health Sciences in 2016. And that is actually in Woodbridge, New Jersey. If you ever happen to have the opportunity to possibly engage yourself in taking classes, it is a wonderful place to go to. It's right off exit 11 on the New Jersey Turnpike. And I engaged myself with that and used my BA degree from Stockton University that I earned in 2004 and incorporated my degree as well as the certificate that I earned. And I actually wanted to involve myself into a holistic approach. So I was really blessed to see that there was an academy that I actually had access to. In college, I actually had the opportunity to take classes. I went to school between 1998 to 2004, and at Stockton University, they were actually incorporating into their area for their academia holistic health. So I took advantage of taking those course of studies for different modalities in holistic health. My work experience, I am in a new area. This is a new territory for me. I'm actually in the Awaken to Your Purpose and Living Consciously with BobBurnsSpeaks.com. That's part of the Hunterdon Chamber of Commerce. It's my first time on the radio, so actually I'm his guest co-host, a permanent guest co-host with him, talking about holistic health. So if you'd like to actually go on your computer, download BobBurnsSpeaks.com. There's an app there, and you can actually listen on your computer. So you can download. We're there every Friday between the hours of 1 o'clock and 3 o'clock. Like I said, I'm the owner of Holistic Nutritious Solutions. I had started that in 2016 in May, so it's just coming up to my 1-year anniversary. So what I wanted to do was actually, my mission is to help individuals have them reach their goals in a holistic lifestyle. So I actually do believe that we can actually work with nutrition and other holistic modalities in order to achieve your health goals. I also worked at Alere, which is where I met my husband, Technical Support Associate from 2008 and 2010, where I actually worked with a global company, where I actually worked inside the areas where we supported all our technical equipment as well as diagnostic medical equipment. And then I also am affiliated with the Northern Burlington Regional Chamber of Commerce. So if you'd like to engage in any of our areas for the Northern Burlington Regional Chamber of Commerce, if you're interested in small businesses, please be involved in your community to look at other areas that can actually incorporate your holistic health, such as I do. I'm also a part of the Professional Women's Business Network. That is one of the largest growing business networks for professional women throughout the United States, and we are actually in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Phyllis Smith, our founder, is actually expanding now to San Francisco and London. Wow. Okay, and what is holistic health? Does anybody happen to be engaged in holistic health right now? No? Okay. Well, holistic health is actually thousands of years old. The method is actually. It's where you actually have an area in the environment and how you approach life and how life approaches you. So what happens is you are engaged in life. And what happens, we have here our physical, the mental, I went too far, excuse me. There we go, my little pointer. Okay, here we go. We have the physical, the body. The physical body is what you see in the mirror every day. Okay, you are a beautiful individual, a handsome individual. That is what you're going to see every day. You're going to engage in your health in that area. Wherever you are, there you are. Wherever you live, this is actually your home. So you're going to be looking at yourself every day for the rest of your life, and these are the different areas that you were going to go into for the physical body. Maybe you happen to have an area that you want to take notice on. Possibly look into an area if you're taking your foods. Do you have an allergy? Your body's talking to you. These are little whispers. What happens is if you happen to have an area that you have an area that you want to take a look on because your body is talking to you because it is out of the norm, your norm, take a look at it. It's talking to you. The mental, which is the mind, 80% of your health is actually in your thought process in the mind. So what you are and what you think you are actually does possess true for 80% of the time. So positive thoughts are very important. How you think about yourself. What do you think about life in itself in general? So the thought process are going to be actually the way you think is going to manifest itself through your actions, the way you look at yourself and feel about yourself, the way you have relationships with people. So if you are thinking negatively, then what's going to happen is your body is going to slowly deteriorate, because what's happening is then you have negative thought processes. And those negative thought processes are going to be then engaged in your health. So what's going to happen is it's going to manifest itself through disease and through illness. So we want to make sure that we are thinking in a positive manner. How are you thinking? What are you thinking about? Are you lingering with thoughts that happened 10, 20, 30 years ago? Do you have feelings about those episodes that happened 10, 20, 30 years ago? that are you involved in right now? The next one is your emotions and feelings, which is actually very important because that's how you express yourself through all the engaging areas, such as your happiness, your joy, your anger, your frustration, your insecurity. What are you thinking about with your emotions? How are you playing about with your emotions? It is okay to cry. But what's going to happen is, are you crying over something that happened 20 or 30 years ago? It is still attached to you. What happens if you happen to have an event in your life that you're still connected to, even though it happened 10, 20, 30 years ago? Somehow, some way, it's not allowing you to go into an area that is better for your area for health. Maybe there was just say a scenario, an argument, and because of that argument, maybe you had a relationship that deteriorated and you never healed it correctly, and that's still engaged in you. So are you ready to release those feelings and emotions? Because your feelings and emotions are connected to your thought processes. So as you manifest those emotions, how long is it staying with you? Yes, you're allowed to be happy. Absolutely. Yes, you're allowed to cry. How long? Yes, if you're going to be angry, look at that anger and say, is it worth it to get angry? Is my health that much important where it's going to control me, or am I going to control those emotions? Because you've got to remember, if you're holding a grudge against somebody, that person doesn't know you're holding a grudge, but you do, and it's affecting your health. And it's not hurting the person that you think you're going to be hurting, it's actually affecting and impacting your health. The next one here is your spirits, which is your life force. If you ever studied Chinese medicine or Chinese philosophy, your qi is your energy force, the force that is within you, your life force, your essence, your soul. The area for the Latin word spiritus means the breath, and that breath is your presence. What is your spirit telling you and how you think and how you are? That divine presence that is within you, the divine innate ability to heal your body. Are you in tune with that? Oh, here we go. Now, since the past few thousand years, what we have here is a little bit of a abstract area of an addition to the wellness wheel. As you can see, we have the emotion, the physical, and the spiritual. Now, since time has lapsed, we have different areas now that we can actually incorporate in our lives to make sure we have total health and total balance. So here's your intellect. Here we go again. Here we go. We have our intellectual. Your intellectual is going to be what you're learning. Are you learning something new every day in your life? Or are you just surviving? Are you doing the same thing over and over again? What we can do is actually to decrease our dementia and also the area of Alzheimer's is actually learning something new. So we have our thought processes and our synapses in our brains continuously learning. So what's happening is we need to fire those synapses. If you're not learning something new and you're being conditioned, you're not actually engaging in your own intellectual thought process. So it's always something good to always learn something new. Maybe you want to learn a new language. Maybe you want to learn to do some dancing or learn to play a new game, playing with your children or grandchildren. Learning and engaging in that intellectual stimulus will actually build your health. Again, we just went over the emotional process. It's very important that you have your feelings and to have you actually then see your feelings for what they truly are, and is it helping you? Think about that. The physical we went over, everything that you see in your life is going to be actually manifesting itself in its physical body, so make sure that you want to have a well-presented body and well-balanced body. The social, which is very good. Your social is your relationships, professional relationships. Are you at a job that you have a very good, healthy relationship with your coworkers? Are you working and engaging and helping them as they are helping you get through the day in a positive manner? Social relationships also mean your marital status. Do you have a positive area in your life with your spouse or your significant other that is healthy? Because what's happening is in many different areas of society, your social engagements and your social life actually is part of your health. In China and also in Japan, We have areas where we have social circles for people that are engaging not only in their intellect for their peers in their same age, but they're also going in and actually having a social interaction with people younger than them, so they can actually learn and they can appreciate each other. Because of course with age comes what? Wisdom. Exactly. Then we have our spiritual. Our spiritual aspect, again, is our divine presence that's within you. It's nothing to do with religion, but it has to do with an innate ability. The universe is out there, and the universe wants you to succeed in life in a spiritual manner that you can actually engage in with the divine spirit within you. Because again, after all, we all are interconnected for some reason. We are here for a purpose. We all are here for engaging in the life. As of right now, I'm 50. The 50 years they took us to get together, you have your own ability and your own autobiography, and here we are. So we're actually interconnected with one another. Your occupational, this area is very good as well. What is your job? What is your profession? Do you like your job? Are you happy with the position that you're in? What happens is with occupational health, there comes a different area because of your stress levels. Maybe you're working and you're bringing home work with you. Maybe you don't want to do that. So how can we have that balance in your own job where you can find happiness? Maybe you're due for a raise and you want to sit down with your constituents, your boss, and sit down and say, these are the things what I have done, these are the things that I've been doing, and then you can take it from there about possibly getting a raise. Your occupational area also is your professional relationships with your peers as well as outside. Do you network with other people in your jobs? Are you building relationships in order to move forward, to build your business or build the position that you're presently in? So it's very important. The environmental area is actually two areas. It's going to be the external environment as well as the internal environment. The external environment, what we're going to do is anything that is coming into your body, is it healthy? Is it including the food? The chemicals. Did you know when you walk into your bathroom, your beauty and health regimen, you're actually exposed to over 200 to 400 chemicals every single day that you're actually applying to your body or putting into your body that are supposedly healthy? Not necessarily. We have parabens that are out there that are causing breast cancer in women. Under the age of 40, we have the largest number of women that are getting breast cancer connected to parabens. Parabens are actually found in your shampoos. It's also used as a preservative in your makeup. So what's happening is that we have chemicals that people are working with every day thinking they're applying it to their bodies, finding out that it's not helping them. It's actually hindering and putting their health at risk for illness and disease. Respiratory illnesses are actually on the rise. What's happening is that are you using materials in your home that are actually safe for you, or are they harmful? Are you using chlorine bleach? That's also known as a carcinogen. It actually burns out your lungs as well. Are you using phosphates? Are you using triclosan? Are you using not chlorine bleach, but also ammonia? These are areas that are in your home, and according to the Department of Environmental Protection Agency, home pollution is actually one of the worst areas to be in. If you're going to be in it for 90% of your life, your own home is actually toxic. So if you actually have all these different types of chemicals in your home, you're putting yourself at risk. So it's always good to educate as well, and I actually help people improve their, making their house an eco-friendly house in order to improve their quality of life, and also to improve their areas of what they want to improve in, which could possibly be asthma. Well, if you have asthma, let's look at all the different labels and chemicals you're using. Let's get them out of your house so you can actually breathe freely, live a life that's healthy, so it's not interfering with your quality of life, so now we can improve it. What is a clinical nutritionist? And I'm going to tell you this right now from myself. Because people actually say, oh, you're a nutritionist. Oh, are you a dietitian? And just to let you know what the difference is. The word dietitian in the state of New Jersey is a licensed regulated profession. So if you are a dietitian, you have to go through the requirements in academia and license wherever state that you're in. And of course in New Jersey, you regulate in that area. But the word clinical nutritionist and nutritionist are two different areas, and people think that I'm a nutritionist and I only deal with food. No, I actually deal with the holistic area of what we just actually went over. So a clinical nutritionist not only deals with food in order to get you into a healthy perspective, but I also use the holistic modalities, such as essential oils, which are 100% pure oils that I work with to help you clean your home, to actually improve your health. You can actually use it topically or internally. I also do an area for prayer and meditation in my services, and now we have scientific studies that actually show that prayer and meditation improve the stress levels. So your stress levels are going down, and your health and your quality of life is going higher. We also have an area for your meditation and prayer showing it decreases blood pressure. So we have scientific studies now, something that's been going on in thousands of years in different areas of the different parts of the regions of the United States, and also in eastern areas, Indian areas, China, Africa, that they've been actually using for thousands of years. It's incorporated in their daily life. They have prayer, they have meditation, they have certain rituals that they do either on their own or as a community or in their village to improve their quality of life. What I do as a clinical nutritionist, I assess the person's nutritional needs. What areas are you looking into for your nutritional health? Are you eating healthy, and what kind of diet do you have? What I do is I actually sit down with the individual, take a look of what they're eating to find out, well, maybe if you're diabetic, you're having too much soda. You might have soda in your diet. You might have candy in your diet. You may have macaroni and cheese, or you may have pasta. Those are all different areas. I would say, you know what, we're going to eliminate that because they're high in sugar. And if you happen to have diabetes, let's get that under control. Interpretations of the dietary analysis, that's your daily consumption of what you are eating. Again, like I said earlier, you are what you eat and absorb. So what we can do is, if you want to improve your health, okay, I'll sit down with you and see what balance areas that you need help in. Are you eating enough omega-3s? Are you eating enough fish? Are you eating enough meat to get your iron? Are you eating fresh fruits and vegetables? Maybe you don't have that in your diet. Maybe you're eating more processed foods. Processed foods are actually the enemy. Everybody thinks it's a nice quick fix, but guess what? It's high in sugar, high in preservatives, and high in salt. The only area that I like about it, it's a proportioned meal, and that's about it. But really, in reality, if you want to invest in your health, redirect your finances and take investments in your health, because if you have your health, you have everything. Your case history, your personal clinical information when you visit my website at www.holisticandsolutions.com, you visit the areas for services as well as a clinical information form. You're going to see a 7-page blueprint of your life. You're going to fill that out, and you're going to see for yourself, what am I doing every day? You're going to keep a little journal, what you've done every day of your eating areas. Your areas for sleep, maybe you have bad sleeping patterns. Well, if you have bad sleeping patterns, let's see what you've been doing on a daily basis in order to prepare yourself for bed, as well as your sleeping patterns. Are you eating right before you go to bed? What are you eating before you go to bed? Are you watching social media? Are you on the computer? Are you reading the paper? Are you stimulating your brain instead of preparing itself to go into a slumber land and incorporate your sleeping patterns so you can get a good night's sleep? So I look at that as well. I also look at your quality of life. How do you feel about yourself? Take an honest opinion. Take a good look at what you want to improve. Write it down, because I'm there to help you, and I want to see that as well, to see if you want to work in that area, and then I can incorporate different lifestyle practices that you can actually do to improve the quality of life and to improve your health. Physical measurements and physical signs. The measurements what I do is the physical measurements is your weight, your height. I also measure your body for your right leg, your left leg. I do your chest and your abdominal areas to see what we can start off with. And then we take it from there on what you want to improve. Laboratory tests. As I said earlier, I worked with a global diagnostic company, and before that I worked with MDL Laboratories. I actually can read, and I was trained to read laboratory tests to see if you happen to be in that range of whatever it is. Just say maybe you're on the borderline of your cholesterol, your total cholesterol. Well, I can introduce you to foods and lifestyle practices to reduce the cholesterol, maybe your LDL, which is your bad cholesterol, and then also improve your HDL, which is your good cholesterol. I'll introduce you to avocados and different good oils that you can actually eat to actually bring down your total cholesterol level to make sure it's in an optimum range. Your lifestyle evaluation. What are you doing with your life? What do you want to do with your life? How do you see yourself today, which is your present? What do you want to do to contribute to yourself to say, well, Gina, I'm going to be sitting down with you and saying, well, I don't like this in my life. What can I do to improve it? Maybe it's a lifestyle evaluation to say, I want to go out and I don't know where to go to engage with people. I'm a social person. I'm new to the area. I don't know where to go. Would you be able to help? Absolutely. I actually have a network of organizations that I work with the Chamber of Commerce, as well as different organizations for charity, if you were interested in doing a charity, as well as volunteer work to improve your quality of life if you want to interact with social people. Absolutely. Okay, the holistic methods, which is your non-invasive. Non-invasive means there's no operation involved. That would be invasive. These are actual practices and methods that I work with in order to improve your quality of life. Again, I work with nutrition, weight management, weight loss, and or obesity. This is actually on the rise, especially in children. I don't know if you have read lately, and I did my thesis on obesity, but children, in this day and age, the baby boomers are ones that are actually going into the twilight of their years, 60 and older. Did you know that you've actually worked out more than the ones that are actually born today in the generation? Do you remember walking to school? Do you remember playing outside? Maybe you didn't have a TV. You didn't have social media. You did not have the internet. You actually did more manual labor. Maybe you grew up on a farm. If you grew up on a farm and you were doing manual labor because you needed to order to survive, order to make produce if you were a farmer and selling it, these were your daily chores. Kids are not doing that today. They're not riding their bicycles today. So and it's amazing, just in 50 years, and 50 years ago, half of America was actually living on farms. So they were growing their own vegetables. They were doing the labor in order to produce their crops and harvest their crops. Water, running water 50, 60 years ago in the United States, in certain areas, they were still using well water. They were still actually using wells. So they were actually using their manual labor in order to survive, but today, kids, they don't need to have that anymore. So there is a large obesity rate going up, as well in adults. What's happening with adults, they're also becoming sedentary in their jobs. Maybe there's more sit-down jobs now, as well as eating processed foods. Are they eating processed foods? More and more people are getting addicted to sugar in America, and that is the actual legal heroin for America, yes, addiction on the sugar. And we have processed foods that are actually working into your hormones and tricking your hormones and tricking your areas of your appetite and your brain to actually have you eat more, which is not good. That's why it's always good to have whole organic foods. Okay, we're going into vitamins and supplements. Possibly you may be taking drugs right now. Maybe you're on a pharmaceutical drug. Did you know that if you're on a pharmaceutical drug, do you know it could be side effects to that drug? Those side effects are now opening up a gateway to another illness and disease, creating a pathway for something else to go wrong with you, and you don't want that to happen. So you actually want to look at vitamins and supplements and finding out what area and vitamins and levels that you may need. Maybe you're vitamin D deficient. Maybe you're not walking outside and getting that sunshine because you live in an area that in the winter months between November and March, we're not outside that much because of the cold weather. We also have stress-reducing activities. I work with exercise, like I had mentioned earlier. I work with different trainers if you're working in an area that you want to improve your health and get your proper exercise on a daily basis. There's also clubs outside in Bordentown here during the spring and summer months that actually invite everyone for different events in order to improve their health. And I belong to one in Bordentown here, which is actually sponsored by Honor Yoga and also Evans Chiropractic. They actually have a Saturday and Sunday session where you actually can do yoga in the park, and exercise in the park, and it's good for all ages. So it's really good to get involved in figuring out what you want to do, especially with meditation, prayer, and visualization. These are areas that people are maybe not are open to it because there might be some stigma to it. Actually, we have great scientific studies that I can actually show you where we actually have exercise, prayer, and visualization that actually helps improve your quality of life and shows physical signs of improvement of your blood pressure, signs that you can see that your stress levels are lower. If you're always stressed out, that means you've got raised cortisol levels. If you're always on the go, sometimes people are always feeling on the go. If you feel like you're always moving and going on your journey of life, we have America on the go where they don't relax at all. And what I do is I incorporate these areas and actually show them, and they do work. We have essential oils. Has anybody worked with essential oils at all? No? Worked with essential oils? Okay. They are actually used for therapeutic purposes, as well as you can put them in your diet. You can put them topically, and you can put them in your body as well. There's different ones for certain areas, and they actually improve your quality of life by not taking aspirin. What we're going to do is possibly introduce you to lavender if you're stressed out and you can't sleep. Well, what we're going to do is give you some lavender. You can put some lavender oils or put it in a diffuser instead of using chemicals in the air. These are actual wonderful areas and oils that actually are from the flower, from that plant, and has medicinal purposes. Yes, yes. Yes, lemongrass as well. I love lemongrass. Wonderful. See, there you go. Well, you already instead of ready, you already have an eco-friendly home. I can imagine. I can imagine. And then we have our lifestyle modifications. Our lifestyle modifications, what we actually do is change your life by incorporating different practices. I'll take something that's unhealthy out. We'll introduce something that's healthy in there. So what's going to happen is with your lifestyle modification, it's going to actually improve your quality of life. Oh, well, Gina, you know what? I'm doing this now. You took out coffee out of my diet, and I'm drinking more water, and you know what? I feel great. I'm hydrated, like you said. Here's a little tidbit of thought. Whatever you weigh, you should be drinking half that amount of water in ounces. So if you weigh 200 pounds, you should be drinking at least 100 ounces of water. And especially in the elderly, what's happening is you may be having medications that actually then take away your thirst. Yes. But you still need to stay hydrated, which is very, very important. And water is the best thing for you. You cannot live without water for no more than 3 days. You can live out without food for 6 weeks, but water is very, very essential. It's a natural detoxifier. So if you're having coffee, take it out, and you know what? Introduce that water and have it every day, and you'll be feeling great. You'll be feeling hydrated. You will have no more headaches, and it actually eliminates your toxins faster as well. Oh, let me go the other way. Okay, take a look here. Okay, I'm going to have a game here with you. If you want to raise your hand, or if not, or if you want to call out. Looking at this picture, what do you see, and why do you see, or possibly think in your mind why this person is the way he is right now, visually looking? Sugar, fast food, possibly he's hand in hand with a nice fast food burger, soda. Okay.
Certain sodas leach out the phosphorus. I think it's certain type of acid in soda.
Yes, yes. They have, if you're doing diets, like aspartame. Aspartame is actually known neurological problems in people, as well as connected to cancer. Get away from the Splenda. Get out and get away from the Equal. All those areas. Run. And you got to be careful with stevia, because even though it's all natural, it's still a sweetener, and it's still a carbohydrate, and it's still a simple carbohydrate.
So what do we use to sweeten our tea up?
Okay, well, you have a sweet tooth then. Well, you can use it in moderation. This is the thing with stevia. You have to be very careful with stevia because it is a sweetener. It's a natural sweetener, but it's still a carbohydrate on there. So what's happening is your body is still breaking down that as a simple sugar. And you got to be careful because if you have diabetes, also you don't want to increase your sugar intake and make it then going through your liver and your pancreas, because that's a simple sugar and that's a simple carbohydrate. What you want to do is
But
eat.
it says 0 calories.
I know. Well, that's why. It's
Okay. Now, in the place of sweetener, a person that's in the borderline of diabetes, can they take honey? Because honey is sweet.
Honey, yes. So what we can do is actually either eliminate the honey, because again, honey is a simple carbohydrate. What you do need is a fiber connected with that carbohydrate.
So what do you do?
So natural foods such as your vegetables, your green leafy vegetables, you need to have a fiber because your fiber is going to actually act as a barrier. It's going to regulate the amount of sugar going into the bloodstream. So it's always good to have that fiber. How about, nobody has brought up, what happens if this person's on medication? Do you know if this person's on medication? He could be on steroids. Steroids actually puts weight on you. Maybe he has a thyroid problem. Thyroid is actually works with your metabolism. It actually regulates your metabolism. If he has an underactive thyroid, he actually is now in an area, he's in an area, oh, here we go. He's in an area for hypothyroidism. So maybe he doesn't have enough iodine in his system to help him regulate the area of what he needs for to metabolize the food. So what's happening with him is that maybe he is a hypothyroid. He doesn't have the thyroid, the proper thyroid medication possibly. He's not taking iodine. You can get iodine in kelp. You can get iodine in seafood such as shrimp. If he needs to increase his iodine levels in order to have his body start burning burning the fat off, that's what he can do. It also regulates body temperature, your thyroid, so you have to be very careful. What about food access? What happens if this person doesn't have the right quality of food? Maybe he is growing up on processed foods. So what's happening with that? He's gaining it from his parents. His parents are probably eating processed foods. So most likely he is eating processed foods. Another area that nobody has picked up on is what about his exercise? Do you think he's exercising? Possibly. Exactly. Type 2 diabetes. We are on the rise for type 2 diabetes, and that's actually controllable through your lifestyle practices. With this, what we're doing here with diabetes, look at all this area that contributes to diabetes. We have here your taco. This is your bread. Your bread is your sugar. So whatever type of bread you're having, no matter if it's rye or pumpernickel or whole wheat, whole grain is what you want to do, and at limit as well. Your pizza, the same thing. It's bread. It's going to break down into sugar, more sugar. You have here your pastas, your gummy bears. Look at all the candy right here, okay? And then your bread here for your pretzels. What's happening is that everybody is eating so much bread and so much sugar. There's such a rise in type 2 diabetes, which actually is controllable through your lifestyle practice of having a proper diet, which is a little bit of a higher protein diet, eating more cruciferous vegetables, putting that person on a low glycemic food index diet as well, which will actually control those levels of your diabetes. Okay. Benefits of holistic modalities. Reducing stress, like I had mentioned, through prayer, through meditation. Exercise. Maybe you like to go out for a nice walk. We have meditative walks if you want to start doing a meditative walk. That means you leave your cell phone home. That means you don't have access to a computer. That means you get back to nature and leave all the electronics at home and get back to your soul and enjoying your own company and enjoying what you like to do. Meditative walks are absolutely fabulous, and they're on the rise too. People are just so gun-hounded and so in an area that their electronics are taking over them. Be in control. That's your thought process. If that's hindering on your quality of life, regulate it. Have the power to do so. Improve your nutrition. Normalize your blood pressure. Decreasing LDL levels. We don't have to do this with medication. You can actually do it with food, proper exercise, and the lifestyle evaluation I can give to you. And we can actually do this without all the different types of medication. Your weight loss. You're decreasing your high risk of these lifestyles. If you're having a high risk lifestyle that is dangerous, we're going to take out the negative and we're going to put in the positive for you. Incorporate healthy lifestyle modifications. That's where we look, and it usually takes 30 days. You take one lifestyle out. Maybe you like to go out on a Thursday night to happy hour at your local bar. Well, you know what? That's high risk because you're taking your drinks and it's increasing your sugar. Let's take your 5 o'clock hour, and what we're going to do is incorporate something else into the 5 o'clock hour. You're going to take a yoga class. You're going to go work out at a gym. You're going to go to a culinary class. Maybe go to a cooking class if you'd like. Maybe you want to go outside as the weather's getting warmer. Take that evaluation and improve your quality of life. And actually, again, you can't put a bottle on it. You cannot put a bottle on holistic modality, on improving your quality of life by changing your life, by doing different lifestyle practices, as well as your thought processes as well. Okay, the benefits of holistic modalities. You improve stamina. I feel great. Look at all the great food I'm eating. I'm improving my food quality. I'm actually not going out taking processed foods. I'm increasing my stamina. Improve your positive body image. How do you look at yourself in the mirror? Do you see a beautiful, engaging individual, or do you see somebody else that you don't know? Get to know yourself and get to know your body. Excellent long-term benefits. These are lifestyle practices. You're actually taking out the old and the bad and putting in the new, and within 30 days, it becomes your practice. Studies have shown when you start engaging into a new lifestyle practice, it becomes your lifestyle habit within 30 days, and it's already adopted in your life. So you don't go back. You keep moving forward. There's no side effects. Decrease the risk of heart disease. Increase productivity. It's all natural. These are great benefits. These are wonderful benefits that you can do on your own with a person such as myself and teams of people out there that actually can improve your quality of life. So redirect your investments, improving your quality of life, and putting your monies into something different that will improve without negative side effects. What are your health goals and your healthy diet? What does your health goals right here look like? Do you have a great area here to your left? Do you have cruciferous vegetables here such as kale and peppers, and we have fish and avocados? Or is it looking like a typical American breakfast, very quick? Your coffee, $5 Starbucks coffee, your bagels, your croissants, that's all sugar. That's all 100% sugar. Where are your values and your healthy qualities from this? This is what's going to happen. You're going to get the sugar kick. You're going to get that great sugar kick at lunchtime when you eat at 12 and 1 o'clock. Then you crash at 2 o'clock because you're eating processed foods, and you're eating processed foods high in sugar as well. That's your crash. What you want to do is engage in a meal such as something like this and incorporating fresh, healthy fruits and vegetables, your avocados to give you your monounsaturated fats.
Okay, this is for lunch or dinner, right? But what is a good thing for breakfast? That's the problem.
There you go. Great question. Excellent. Your body, there you go, is one of them.
No, but oatmeal, if you are the borderline of sugar, you cannot eat oatmeal because oatmeal is too starchy.
Well, it's a soluble fiber, but this is what you can do. What happens is, and I'm going to back up that question and then we're going to go into this.
Yes.
Your body needs to rest. So when you sleep, your body's actually detoxifying. And all the hormones are actually talking to each other, and all the systems that detoxify your body are going to talk so you can get into that deep sleep. And that's why you need 6 to 8 hours of sleep, because your body needs to detoxify. It needs to get all the garbage out that you just did for the day. A balanced meal for breakfast actually is protein, fat, and fiber. And I'm going to show you how and why. Protein, such as if you want to eat a piece of chicken, or if you want to eat some turkey.
For breakfast?
You can do that. There's no law that you said you can't. Not at all, not at all. You could also have your oatmeal, which is your fiber. Your avocado is your healthy fat. So you can actually make yourself, without the cheese, a nice little guacamole dip without the cheese. I can actually give you recipes as well that you can actually incorporate and make avocado dip, which is your good fat for your brain health and your monounsaturated fats, so you can, your HDL levels can be increased. Your fat and your fiber. Your fat is going to be also your avocado. Your protein, it could be maybe turkey bacon, it could be some nuts if you're putting it on an oatmeal. Oat bran. Oat bran is one of the best things that you can actually eat, because it actually eliminates the toxins faster at a better rate, and it takes about 33 to 40% of the recommended daily lifestyle for Oat Brain to have fiber. Increase your fiber. Don't eat processed cereals. That $5 box of cereal, take that $5 and incorporate it into something healthy and redirect your areas so you can improve your health. So those 3 areas, having a protein, fat, and fiber diet every morning is actually going to have you get less hungry and takes longer to digest.
What about eggs?
You can have eggs, but be very careful with eggs. I rather work with cage-free eggs because what's happening is you don't know what that chicken is eating. So you want to make sure it's hormonal-free. It's a free-range chicken as well.
I know she mentioned avocado for several things, like lowering blood pressure
Yes.
and whatnot. I'm allergic to avocado, so is there a substitute?
Absolutely. You can actually do coconut oil. You can actually.
Coconut.
You're like the coconut syrup. Well, we'll find out something for you.
Okay.
Absolutely. Sure. So what type of breakfast is that you are eating? So take a look at that. Okay. Whoop, here we go. And let food be thy medicine and medicine be thy food. Hippocrates has said that. Absolutely true, and he said it over 2,000 years ago. And it's still true to this day. Your very first component for health is what are you eating, so you can absorb it and what you are consuming. Your positive health goals here, 80% of your health takes place in your head. Here's a great area here from Roald Dahl. If you have good thoughts, they will shine out of your face like sunbeams, and you will always look lovely. There you go, a smile is contagious. So your thought processes and how you feel about yourself, take this into consideration here. There's part of your thoughts, your 80% of your health. So if you're thinking positive thoughts, it's going to manifest itself into a positive relationship. What are your health goals? A healthy spirit. Renew the right spirit within me. Every single day you actually have the opportunity to prayer and meditate, have time for yourself so you can actually connect with your soul, your divine spirit within you. What are your health goals? Healthy relationships and a balanced life. Do you have that and do you want that? A balanced life is a happy life. Be grateful and live your life with love, peace, and happiness.
That's so true.
Yes, yes. And actually was taken in Utah. My husband and I went to, we celebrated in conjunction with our my 50th birthday and our 5th wedding anniversary. And at the end of our hike, this rainbow was here. This was taken at Bryce Canyon. Absolutely beautiful. And I actually met an 80-year-old woman who was walking the same trails that we were doing.
You know, people in my island, they live about 100 and something years old. Most of the people.
Yes. And there's different, and look at the
they
quality of
walk
life.
every day, they don't drive, especially I raise in town.
Yes.
And we do a lot of walking.
A lot of walking, the best exercise you can do. Yes. Going to the store.
And another thing, we do plenty of swimming.
Exactly. Exactly. If you can't take up weights, take up the swimming. Your weights, it's going to be wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
I have the place here to swim. That's the problem.
Well, there's some gyms, there's some local gyms here as well, if you'd like to take gym memberships too, and I can introduce you to the different gyms that have memberships with swimming pools. Any questions?